Hello, it's your professional sarcastic man and seeker of attention, Chris, here with a review on Riri Williams' Ironheart. Yes, Bendis' atrocity got her own mini-series. Hooray! But, and I never thought I would be saying this. This was good. Yes, Riri actually had an actual good story by herself, not counting that moment in Infinity Countdown where Thanos beat the shit out of her. She didn't win the day in that one. With this, it's actually legitimately a good story, a good start to her own series, and yes, I'm as shocked as you are. So, starting off, Riri Williams was a young girl who dreamed of becoming an astronaut until her best friend and stepfather were killed in a drive-by shoot. I thought she dreamed of being Tony Stark. Invincible Iron Man number 8 says otherwise. Determined to find a way to protect her hometown of Chicago, Riri reverse-engineered Tony Stark's armor, Iron Man, designed to create her own armor. Now she soars disguised as Riri Williams' Ironheart. You're missing a little bit there. She did more than that. She pretty much replaced him, and nobody asked for it. So, written by Evel Ewing, art by Kevin Labranda and Luciano Vecchio, yada 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 yada. So, going forward, we're reintroduced to Ironheart. Still not kind of sold on the coloring is alright. The symbol design here is the thing that kind of kills it for me. It's not actually a bad design. At least she's not 100% copying Iron Man. She's just one of her own separate Ironheart. Just get rid of that. It's supposed to be like her version of like the arc reactor that Iron Man always has, the centerpiece on his armor. But no, get rid of that, and then the armor just looks fine by itself. So we're reintroduced to Riri, and she's late to a presentation with like various kind of world leaders or ambassadors, giving a tour of what she's doing. And look at this. Look at this, people. Something wrong happened, and Riri was scolded for it. Riri actually being scolded from everything else, from like Bendis's Invisible Iron Man run with Riri on the helm. Riri was treated as she's perfect. She could never do anything wrong. And if she did do something wrong, she would say, well, it's not my fault. Why should I be punished for this? But this, she's scolded for it, and she doesn't say, well, it kind of isn't her fault, but she doesn't have like she doesn't snarkily backchat. And the person that's punishing her, for the most part, since we've seen this character introduced, he was introduced in Invincible Iron Man, in Bendis' run as well. He's done nothing but praise Riri. This, he's not. He's just treating her as just a normal person, as she's done something wrong, so she's gonna get scolded for it. Wow, it's slightly getting better. So after that, a reject Spider-Man villain, Clash, attacks all those ambassadors, those world leaders. So Riri goes off to stop Clash, and it's not that bad. It's this part kind of kills it for me, because she turns the lights off, and she puts night vision on for herself, and Clash says, "The darkness won't stop me, stupid. You're into science. Ever heard of echolocation?" The thing is, as you can see, the bright lights on her armor are still bright. Why Clash couldn't just see those lights baffles me. I don't know. It doesn't seem like, he can see. He doesn't seem to have problems with his eyesight. It's just, I don't know. They kind of just slept on that. But kind of after that, Clash gives her this. You and I are the same in so many ways. Maybe you can see it today, but it's true. I only hope that someone with your talents doesn't let people just throw you away like they did me, and maybe you deserve this more than I do. And so it's kind of how to say this. He believes Riri has potential, but she's easily just going to be thrown away because she's essentially a sidekick, pretty much. She's built herself up as not as her own person, but just as another Iron Man, and he sees more potential in her. That's kind of the thing. Even though Bendis ruined her, just from the get-go, Riri had potential. And then this is kind of the part that kind of killed it, doing the whole, bringing back just a-hole Riri, and then kind of they start talking about Star Trek. It's just like, oh yeah, I actually really like Star Trek. It's like, oh yeah, Next Gen, and you ever watch Deep Space Nine? Oh, you're so underrated. It's just like, look, we're hip and cool with the nerds as well. We all know about the Star Treks, my dudes. But honestly, it really didn't. This part really didn't need to be here. This could have easily just been a $3.99 comic and just get rid of this part where she's talking to Xavier, apparently like this guy that she likes, and he apparently likes her, like one of her old friends. But there's actually something here that kind of slightly saves her. She talks about her stepdad. My stepdad, it's this thing he used to say all the time. Those who move with courage make the path for those who live in fear. He said it constantly. He said his mother taught him that. And I was tired of being afraid. I wanted to fly. And she told, seems like he had the perfect father. No, but he tried. He tried real hard. And I guess since he's not here, I feel like the best I can do is try to walk the path he made for me, That. Bendis. This is motivation for a superhero, not the whole I wanted to be discriminated against, so my teacher told me you can't be Tony Stark, and I told her, well, I'm going to be Tony Stark, so you can go screw yourself. I'm going to be Tony Stark, and you can just suck it. That was Riri's motivation to pretty much soon to become Ironheart. Was just she was told she can't be Tony Stark, so she's like, well, I'm going to be Tony Stark. But this is way better, a almost kind of relatable motivations to being a hero. Her stepdad, those who move with courage make the path for those who live in fear. And well, I guess since he's not here, I feel like the best I can do is try to walk the path he made for me, It's like, she wants to... It's almost a kind of continuing her father's legacy, in a sense. That's actual good motivation for a character to be a superhero. She's inspired by her stepdad to be a hero. He's laid the groundwork to be courageous, and she wants to follow that in his memory. Why wasn't this her motivation from the get-go instead of, I wanted to be discriminated against and prove them wrong? So, I know it pains me to say this, but this was actually good. You can tell by my voice, I'm actually shocked at how good this was. This was actually a good start. It did have flaws. That whole part with Xavier and Riri, that could have been taken out. Yes, I know that does also remove that whole motivation part, but still, you could have taken that out, and the rest of the story would have just felt like a one-shot story. Like, it was just, it had start, middle, conclusion, and it didn't, the whole thing with Clash, it didn't particularly, felt like it was leading on to somewhere. It was just its own single story. It does come off a bit dialogue heavy, particularly with the science jargon, all the techno babble and that. I just kind of felt like that guy that didn't know what was going on, what was being said. I'm just like, yep, yeah, kinetic barrier. Oh, yeah, I totally, yeah, I understand. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I kind of felt like that reading it, but like, overall, this was actually good, and it baffles my mind why Eve Ewing decided, well, I should write Ironheart because I like Riri Williams. I'm black, a woman, have the same hairstyle, also lived in Chicago. That was that was the main reason why I assumed this was just going to be utter garbage. It's just the writer's reasoning for why she should write Riri Williams. That's not a good enough reason. Your race and your gender, whatever, and location shouldn't determine why you should write a character. Here, this would have been a better one. So, okay, so someone asked, Eve, why should you write Riri Williams? Well, I feel like I have a connection with the character. I really understand her from what Brian Michael Bendis has read and what written and what other writers have written with Riri, and I feel like there's more to her that I can explore, and I feel like that's why I should get the character. See, it may not be an A+ reason, but it's a better reason than saying I is also a black woman with afro hair and lives in Chicago. So, you know what? I will recommend this. I will. As much as I hate Riri, Bendis just Bendis killed any credibility with the character, any potential. But with this, it seems like she's actually going to properly develop. It's what Riri kind of wanted, and I know I did a video on this saying I wouldn't buy it and that it's just going to be terrible. But I decided to check it anyway, and I'm kind of lucky in a way. See, Riri can be redeemable, just in the right hands. So I will recommend this, but if you don't want to pick it up because it's Riri or because of the writer's reasoning, I understand it is dumb reasoning for wanting to say why you should write a character, but this actually was a good start. I'm not ashamed to admit that it, like I said, as much as it pains me to say it, this is actually a good comic. Art is good. The art is definitely good. Cover, I still don't like the cover. Looks like Riri is half giraffe with that neck. But that's all for this video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.